For today's video, we have a John Deere Hydro 165 lawn tractor. This one's, I believe, 1987. It's been owned by the same family since new. Apparently, they still have the original paperwork for it. It's been serving them real good until it didn't. The back of that engine, if we look back there where the crankshaft balancer mounts, where that plate is going into the block, that whole part of the block is completely broken open. I don't know what went wrong first, if that was loose and then it became a missile, or if the rod went bad inside and busted through, but the whole back case of that motor is blown completely off. Being that it is a family piece, they'd like to keep it. And being that this is sort of an heirloom, I guess, of sorts, it was handed down from the owner's father to her after he passed. So they have a personal attachment, and it's worth it to her to replace the motor and keep this thing going. So that's what we're going to do. I got another 165. It's got the exact right engine. For those that don't know, it's a single-cylinder Kawaski FB460v. These are very durable engines in general. This one didn't quite make it to 40 years, but it's pretty close. So that's a testament to how long they do last, and possibly whatever happened with that could have been prevented. Unknown what happened. I wasn't servicing the equipment until this problem occurred, where it was catastrophic. Other things I see, we got racing slicks for tires. Those could use a little attention. I see the hose, which is supposed to be for, I believe that's the hose that's supposed to go back and forth, and it's a vent for the fuel tank, is obviously off of wherever it used to once be, and it's hard as a rock. So we're not going to worry about that too much. We'll have to take the seat pan off to get at that, of course. They kind of wiggle it up and back, so if you go on an angle, you don't spill out your fuel. Other things that are known to be bad with this machine at present time, this is a bungee tie they have custom made to hold the pulley on the deck in a way that it does not, I don't know if it was throwing the belt or if something was rubbing and cutting into the belt. We'll take a look at all that, but first we got to get a good power plant, get this thing able to run. If not, no need to fix anything else because it's all for nothing. Let's get a good power plant put on this machine. Let's do an engine swap. I'm going to be swapping kind for kind. We're not going to do any adapting. We're not going to do any rigging. It's the exact one we need. Just a little information on the 165s and the Kawasaki engine. This is electric start. This does have the improver. This was an aftermarket accessory. It is a solenoid improver kit, and what it does is it makes sure you have full voltage going to your starter to kick it in. What happens on these is you got a thing that senses when your brake pedal's down, you got a thing that senses when you're on your seat, and you have the PTO switch that must be in the off position. If all those get a little bit of resistance in them over the years, it wasn't able to kick over the starter with enough voltage to trip the solenoid on the starter. So they got this relay kit, and it's literally plug and play. You can buy them aftermarket. You can buy them from HD Switch on eBay. And this takes even the smallest amount of current coming from all those safety switches, which may be not getting full voltage. And even if it has just a little bit of voltage, it fires that at full voltage to get the starter to come in. So that's pretty cool. Other things, some of these came with a, you could add an aftermarket hour meter. I've seen them put there before. And the other accessory that would go here would be a oil filter kit, which would bolt right on. I think there's a couple of O-rings inside there. And you would have a spin-on filter located right in there. And that could be an option for the Kawasaki engine. Other things than that, some of them have headlights, some of them don't. And that again would need probably a different wiring harness, or you could just upgrade and or put a new switch there. I suppose the original dash would have been drilled for it. I don't know that it is back there, but some of them would have had the headlight kit. And also different accessories you can get for these is the chrome classic hubcaps, which are pretty hard to find actually. And that's about all I know. Of course, you can get, you know, plows and snow blowers and things. There's the rear weight kit that bolts on the back face there. Put 2 big bolts in through the back there, the back plate that's under there, and you can stack, I think, 2 of those in there, or you could do it with wheel weights or anything if you were using it for snow, chains, things like that. But anyway, back to what we were doing, which is that. Now, to get at everything underneath there, I'm going to have easier access when I go to get things to just remove this deck. Well, the deck's got to come off anyway because I want to see what's going on with that pulley system and why the belt is rubbing on something. So let's just go ahead and take it completely off of this and the donor tractor and make things simple. So let's start by, got you down on the front of the machine here if I didn't describe where we are. Pull those pins. Put the pins right back in so we don't lose them. Okay, front of the deck's off. Take down the chute holder. And we'll get our spring uncocked. Okay. Oh, now I'm seeing some of that, what we're holding up here. So here is the custom bungee holding up a spring where another spring is holding it up. Okay, something's out of place there. I'm not sure. We're going to have to look all that over. This spring is holding this spring, and the bungee is holding both up. Kind of odd. We'll figure it out, what it needs. And by the way, the first thing I did, put this all the way down and let the deck down on the ground. So I'm not going to be fighting against gravity here. We'll just let it sit on the ground. I'm going to try to untie this so I can reuse it in case I can't fix that in a timely manner and need to get it back. Pliers. Okay. Get your way down here with me. Knock the camera over. Stay there. Then we got the 2 hangers that hold the height. Clip at the bottom. There's that one. And I'll get the one on the other side off camera. Then we should be able to get the belt off and pull that deck. So now I'm going to pull the height adjuster all the way up. It's free to come out, but it'll probably still catch on those arms because the arms are hanging down. This I just unhooked. This is the belt. It's, of course, soaked with oil terrible after that engine went bad. And so it's going to get caught underneath my wheel there, so I'm just going to lift the tractor up and over off camera. Now this video is going to be mostly engine, but just for anybody wondering, that spring has almost worn through that little bracket thing. Here's the springs they have. This spring was like holding up the other spring. You know what? This, I think, is supposed to have a retaining ring here. There's some strike marks on here. Like somebody was working on that maybe. And maybe they smushed the where the retaining ring was. So this is floating up and down. I don't know if it can. That's a little intriguing. So maybe this whole assembly here is going up and down. And that was getting the top of the belt shaved down when it did. I'll bet you that's what's happening. Okay, no big deal. Nothing serious. Just thought I'd show in case anybody was interested on this video. All right, and I just remembered this does have a good live battery. Looks like they put that in early last year at the time of filming. It is 2025. Why does that feel weird? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Okay, now we can start disconnecting stuff on the engine. I'm going to show you on this one, not the donor tractor, same exact machine. And this one's already out here, nice and clean, easy to show you. Now the starter, I'm just going to leave all the wires hooked up undisturbed, and we're just going to hopefully roll those out of the way. A little white corrosion there. Wow. Aluminum. That whole starter housing, I think, is aluminum. Guess I should have taken that off first. Number 2 Phillips screwdriver. There we go. Kind of lay that out of the way. Unplug this one, which is our igniter for our spark. Unplug this dual plug, which should be alternator and ignition, I believe. Now I'm going to have to take that starter wire off, or I can take this. Yeah, I'll take this off, slip it behind. They've got the starter wire kind of running through there. There we go. Snuck those wires around. When I put this, I'm going to put this up here. It's a cooler location than down here where the muffler is blowing right near. I think that's a better way of installing that. I mean, it wasn't wrong. It was just in a hotter place than I would choose to put it. And we're missing some bolts from here, which is okay. It makes it easy to get apart. This one's got the spark wire running through it. And it is a split grommet, so you can get it out. You don't have to cut your end off. It will come out. That's got a split built in. That we got to work out from behind the engine pieces. Yep. That's a muffler guard for all the heat that is produced from the engine. The air goes over the muffler out the bottom of the engine here, fins, and cools the muffler on the way out. Pretty smart engineering. And then we got these muffler bolts, which are pretty big. And let's go 13. 13 it is. Get an extension here. Come on. Oh yeah. Ooh, I don't know. It did, folks. It did. Unbelievable. It's possible that's never been off of there. And I've got two bolts in the front here. Take my extension off, and those also hold the muffler to the track, to the engine. One there. And one there. Nice. Okay. Continuing. Now we'll do our combination throttle choke cable. Wiggle the cable out of its home. And that thing just about cut my finger wide open. Luckily, I had plenty of grease on it this time. intake fuel hose, the suction line. Okay. Looking decent. I tipped it up heavily on its left side, and first thing I notice is this, which is the thing that goes from the brake to the hydro. I think that returns it to neutral when you put on the brake or something. The whole pin is missing out of the clevis, I think, yeah. So we'll need to find something there. It looks like that's been like that for a while. You see wear marks in the where it's been going up and down. So that's missing. That just fell out. No big deal. Belt, hydro belt doesn't look terrible. Looks like it's rubbing there though. Is that supposed to be on that side? I'm not sure if that's the right side. Because it also seems to be rubbing. Well, it wouldn't be rubbing on that if that was up where it belongs. Sorry. If that was up where it belongs, it wouldn't be rubbing on this. But it's sort of rubbing here too. Not sure if that's supposed to go here. Looks like it's kind of being pushed. Let me get my finger in there. To go up and over where maybe it's supposed to go under. Not sure if that's routed right. Anyway, our goal today is to get the PTO off. So there's a plug, and then there's a big old bolt that goes through the center of the PTO through the other pulley up into the shaft of the motor. Probably best to use a pretty good size impact wrench for this one. Otherwise, you end up just fighting it. You're trying to, the motor's trying to turn while you're doing it. If you don't have an impact, you can get it, but I mean, you're going to fight it. All right, now let's go for the oily, greasy plug I've been trying to avoid. Where are you? Still had the original zip tie on it. Unbelievable. Oh, is this thing soaked with oil? Nice. Now, what does it take to get this down? Shouldn't take much. Hope that's not seized on the shaft. Nope. Oh, beautiful. She come out, folks. Had me worried for a minute there. Cannot lie. Okay. Got you. Oh, this one comes off too. So lucky. I'm just saying lucky, folks, because it ain't skill. Sometimes they ain't coming off. You're gonna have to cut them off. Okay, where's my bolts for my motor? Up there. There's one way up where my finger is. Here's another one. Here's one. And I think here's one. Okay. We're having good progress here. Let's keep it rolling. See what size those ones are. Maybe like that. Yep. I'm going to get that extension because we're going to need it. I'm going to go up near the steering shaft. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tractor tipping over. Because I was pushing on it. I saw it move. I saw it move. Nice. All right, now I'm going to tip it back. Tipping. Getting me out of the way. Smash my toolbox. Get off my toolbox. Whew. Tragedy averted. Okay. Now, let's see if it wants to come out. Yeah. Oh boy. Is that heavy? Oh wow. Wait till you see the back of this engine. It's way worse than I knew. Well, I mean, we should have figured it out by the oil. Look at that. This whole piece is just nothing. Giant crack. This piece has been beat around in there. The pan, the oil pan is even cracked out of there. Wow. Incredible. Carnage. Total carnage. This bolt or nut, I don't know if it was a stud. Yeah, two of them are stud. Well, actually, I guess they're all studs. There's one of them with the bolt, the nut completely missing. This nut is completely missing. These two are on there, but are hand tight. That one's still tight. Wow. Sorry, let me hold this steady for you. I'm sorry, I just had to get the shot as soon as I could. So yeah, we got piece, 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 piece. Some more in there. Crack, broken oil pan. Bolt all loose on the oil pan. Really bad. I don't know why they had a nut there. That's interesting. You wouldn't need a nut, it's all threaded. Okay, well, yeah, that's why we're here doing the motor swap. I just figured out why that nut is on this side is because that is where the ground goes for the tractor, battery, and all of the mower accessories. Okay, cool. That was pretty painless. Hopefully the donor comes apart just as easy. I didn't film it while I was on video, but here's the donor mower. I got that new strap from here to wherever here with the spring. They had the wrong spring on there and the strap was almost worn through. I changed that out. Also, this was as I suspected. There's supposed to be a washer, a clip, and a cap. all that was missing. So it was allowing this pulley to come upwards. It wasn't really that something was dropping onto the belt. It was the belt was coming up and hitting something. You wouldn't think that would move, but it does if you don't have the piece that retains that assembly down, which I have removed and put on the mower that is being repaired. Now, for the sake of the video, let's say I have already washed all that and all the oil residue that's around the base of it and on the front of the deck and everywhere else under there. Let's say that's already done. Alright, I've already given it a test drive and a new oil change, and I hereby declare that John Deere tractor Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching.